By the time the 10th dawn dragged its gray fingers across Marrowbone Village, the people looked half dead already. The rituals had stripped them down to bone and nerve. Sleep was a luxury no one dared indulge in fully, not with the dark stars still fixed above them like an unblinking pupil. It hung lower now, a swollen coal red wound in the winter sky, pulsing faintly, as though responding to the village's collective heartbeat. Today was the rite no one spoke of unless forced. Today was Lords of Leaping. The 10 chosen were already waiting beside the frozen river when the villagers gathered. They stood shivering in their ceremonial coats, old moth-eaten things trimmed in tarnished gold thread, meant to mimic ancient nobility. Their faces were pale beneath the makeup applied to them hours earlier, their cheeks made rosy with paint so thick it cracked when they clenched their jaws. None of them looked at each other. None of them looked at the villagers. They stared only at the ice, because they knew what lay beneath it. The leaping was not a dance. It was a test, a torment dressed up as tradition. Each year, the 10 lords were made to run and leap across cut holes in the river ice, 10 rectangular gaps carved by the elders in a long, cruel path. The idea was simple. Leap them all, reach the end, survive another year. No one had ever truly survived it. Not fully. The first of the 10, a barrel-chested man named Harlan, was pushed forward by 2 elders. His lips were trembling. The cold or fear, no one could tell. The villagers murmured the opening chant, voices raw from the days before. Leap for the light, leap for the bone. Leap so the sleeper stays dreaming below. Harlan took his first running steps, hesitant at first, then frantic. His boots slapped the ice, slipping, skidding. He reached the first gap and hurled himself over it, arms flailing wildly. He landed hard but stayed upright. A modest cheer broke out. The second jump he cleared. A third he almost didn't. His heel splashed into the freezing water before he yanked it free and kept running. But the fourth swallowed him whole. He slipped on the takeoff, struck the ice chest first with a hollow thud, and slid helplessly into the open water. A scream tore out of him, sharp enough to cut marrow. The watchers on the shore did not move. They never moved. Harlan clawed at the ice, but the current beneath dragged him down, dragging him beneath the sheet before he could get a grip. His scream turned to gargling, then to nothing. Under the ice, his silhouette thrashed, dark shadow beating against a darker surface. The crowd held silent. The ritual demanded silence and death. The next lord, a young woman barely 20, stepped up with tears already freezing along her chin. She ran before they could force her, desperate to finish, desperate to outrun what waited beneath. She cleared 2 jumps cleanly, then slipped on the third landing and fell forward, smashing her knee. A sickening crunch echoed across the river. She screamed, but the elder signaled her onward. She tried to continue. She tried to leap, her knee folded sideways like wet parchment. She pitched straight into the 4th gap. The under-ice current claimed her even faster than Harlan. 8 remained. Some leaped with the numb resignation of cattle at slaughter. Some ran with the wild speed of terrified animals. One old man leapt the first 5 gaps with surprising grace, until his ankle snapped sideways on the 6th landing. He didn't scream. He only whimpered as he was dragged downward, tapping once, twice at the ice above him like a child knocking to be let in. The ice did not let him in, but the river did. By the time only one remained, a gaunt, long-fingered father of 2 named Darren, the villagers could barely watch. The dark star throbbed violently now, staining the snow a muddy crimson hue. He felt it closer than ever, its glow spilling across the frozen river like oil. Darren stepped forward. He had not cried yet, but he was shaking. He took off at a sprint, each leap fueled by sheer will to live. He cleared the first gap, then the second, then the third. His breath burst from him in ragged clouds as he hit the 4th landing hard, nearly buckling. But he didn't stop. His children stood in the crowd, held tightly by their mother. They didn't look away. 5, 6, 7. He slipped on 8. His foot skidded out, his arms pinwheeled. He nearly went down, but he caught himself with a choked cry and limped forward, blood dripping from his palms where the ice had flayed them open. 9. Only one more. He gathered the last of his strength and hurled himself forward with a hoarse shout. His body cleared the gap, but his heel didn't. The back of his boot clipped the edge of the ice. It was enough. The impact spun him sideways, slamming him onto his ribs. The air blasted from his lungs. He slid, and fell backward into the hole he had almost conquered. The crowd gasped. Darren's hands shot above the waterline, fingers clawing, reaching, trembling before the current yanked him under. His children screamed for him, but the adults held them tight, as tradition demanded. Silence returned. Then the chanting resumed, hollow and exhausted. 10 lords leaped, the river keeps, in death they guard, the sleepers sleep. Above them, the dark star pulsed once, slow, satisfied, and the villagers understood. Skelmarok was listening, and day 11 would come.